right, guys. Let me just look at this real quick. Quarter scoring.
It's a really odd box score. Like, extremely odd.
I mean, and they're going to tell me off the record, the shot quality is in the 98th percentile, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we're just... Anyway, we can start now. I'll just,
We've talked a lot this week about joy, spirit, all those things, and you mentioned in pregame. What did you think of that from your group tonight?
I mean, it's deflating when you're missing shots from it. Like, it's deflating. Like, there's no, like, I don't know who would be joyful in that situation. It's just tough. But we got to, I think we kept it together on the bench and encouraging and just keep competing. We had 30 offensive rebounds. I know a lot of that is because we missed a lot of shots, but I thought we're trying, we're fighting. It's like we could not get over the hump. Give the Warriors a ton of credit. They came in there with a fresh young group that had a lot of energy. They really got after it. GP was, a terror like he normally is, made it really hard on Don. At some point the shots could have, I felt like they're going to go in. They're going to go in. I was on them on the bench, or probably 3 or 4. We could have, early in the shot clock, like, no, not that one. Let's keep it moving and let's. But I'll tell you what, our numbers at the rim are probably just as bad. I know we're 28% below expected. We got to the rim a lot in the first half. We couldn't convert at the rim either, so it just wasn't the threes. So, I don't know. Please don't use this as an excuse. Most games in the league, most back-to-backs in the league. This was, and we were definitely, fatigued. It's just what it is. Now, in the NBA, you got to overcome that, right? You got to find another way, and we didn't tonight.
Overall, what did you think of the offensive process?
Good. Like we kept saying, we're getting good shots. Like I said, we could take a few threes back for sure. Get to the rim a little more, but it wasn't like we were finishing at the rim. I don't know what the final rim numbers were, but I felt like in the first half, definitely we were there a lot, and we just couldn't convert. Couldn't convert tonight. Again, all the credit goes to the Warriors, and they junked the game up, a little bit, box of one, and good job by Steve. Played some regular zone. Definitely that didn't help, us.
Kenny, just how much are you guys looking forward to the 5 days?
We need it. We need to reset. Let's reset. Reset, get a little practice time. Schedule's going to ease up, and we'll get back on track. But this is a good reset. And it gives us time to get some guys healthy, right? It gives us a little, anytime you can buy days in the NBA where you get your guys, guys can heal up a little bit. So I thought, Don and Evan gave everything they had. Like they just, we've relied on them a lot. And tonight it probably hit the limit a little bit, physically. But I'm not here, going to fault our effort or our spirit or any of that. Just couldn't. Name of the game was putting the ball in the basket at the end of the day. Sure, we made defensive mistakes. Sure, it wasn't great, but I thought we, did a decent job there. You got to put it in the hole.
You talk about the balance that you guys had getting to the painted area and also taking threes. I mean, Donovan had 7 made threes tonight. Only 3 other players had 1.
Yeah. What were the other players with 3 for 28? Did someone say besides Donovan?
How difficult is that?
I mean, we need to support him more, right? Like we needed someone to step up, and we didn't have that tonight. No one really stepped up. He was kind of. Solo out there. Not saying, but, it wasn't for lack of effort or lack of want or any of that. You just, tough one for us. But Ethan, it's a great point. We need we need a reset right now, and to rest our bodies, and go back, to our get our principles, get a few practices in. It'll be helpful.
This has been kind of an up and down week for the team. How do you take and find the appropriate lessons from a week like this?
Yeah, it's the old, cliche. You learn from your struggles. I think we'll dive a little deeper. It's not always simple as hey, we didn't make shots. We got to look at how can we get better ones, right? Can we get more open? Can we get our cutting game? I feel like we're not getting. We had a few of them in the second. It was a little better in the second half, but I thought we that's kind of So we're gonna have to kind of look at things and look at things a little deeper and see how we can help our guys, get better shots.
Are there any things from this week that you want to either carry forward through the season or forget about?
No, I listen. I think, like I said, these are. I'm learning a lot about our players. Learning a lot about our young guys, our role players. Learned a lot about lineups. So you always take lessons from struggles. So, like I said, it's good. Good we have a window here. Without a window, it's tough to dive too deep. But we got some time here.
Last one, Spence.
Defensively, you hold them under 100 today. It looked like you guys had a pretty good job guarding your yard, staying in front today a little bit more. Are you happy with that part of it too?
Listen, when you're not making shots like that, you got to get more stops. So, contextually, no, we had to have a I think it was okay to good, but it wasn't great. We had a fair amount of breakdowns. We're going for shot fakes at the rim, and and they weren't effort things. They were more like focused, cognitive, like mishaps. We had to be more perfect on defense, and we weren't. But listen, I don't want to discount what the Warriors did tonight. That's an impressive victory for them.